This is something I do perhaps the most often. It's an aromatic lamb shank stew. Now the first thing I need to do is brown these lamb shanks in batches. Now, lamb shanks are the knuckle end of legs of lamb, and like all cheap cuts, they need slow, long cooking, but the flavour is so much better than sort of more expensive, fancier cuts. Right, it is important to brown them on both sides because the fat, when it's pallid, looks particularly unattractive. And anyway, this way you seal it and get a lot of flavour, and also you render some of the fat down into the pan, which gives again a lot of flavour for browning the onions in later. Now there are 2 onions here, 4 cloves of garlic, and now I said this is an aromatic lamb stew. Let me show you my aromatics. It's nice and soft. I don't want you to get bogged down with weights and measurements because stews are not like that. It really is sort of go with the flow time. And I don't want this to cook over high heat. I want it to stay pale and I want it not to harden, just cook into kind of mellow flavour. It's really just a matter of putting this fresh, rich and sticky mixture in the pot. I don't mean to be vertiginously eclectic. A good stir, and then add blood, which is less of an aromatic than a beautiful food dye. I like keeping the string on, I think it looks so beautiful. Anyway, why give yourself extra work? You know, really, how much or how little you add of these spices is up to you. So taste as you go along. All I would say is add enough so it doesn't taste as if you're being apologetic about the spiciness. And now, bit of gungeon needed. But there's something about this golden yellow. It adds sort of depth too. And then to counter that, a slight Middle Eastern quality. Turmeric first, and then cinnamon. Not too much or into sort of apple pie time. Right. Put the acid into the pot. Quite like this sort of ritual disemboweling. Lovely. Put the lamb shanks back in now. And then it's just a question of covering with water and cooking for an hour and a half. I'm just going to pour the water in here to swill around before sticking in the pot because I don't want to waste any of these lamb juices that have settled in the bottom of this dish. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. And all I want here is for the flavour of these fats to go into the water the lamb's going to be cooked in. So this onion mixture has cooked to a spicy, sweet sort of tangle of flavours. This stuff is just malevolent. Lovely colour. And what's wonderful is as soon as your friends have come in through the door, they'll be hit by this aromatic fug. Perfect. And then bring to the boil, lid on, and cook for an hour and a half or so till it's tender, in which time I am a free woman. Right, lamb should be absolutely perfect. So lid off and have a quick see. That lamb is lovely and tender now. Taste for spice and seasoning. And now some lentils. Now I use these red lentils which soften into the sauce. Now I want to cook this now without a lid on so that as the lentils soften the liquid evaporates, so I get deepening of flavour and thickening of texture. The lamb just needs to be tipped out into a serving dish, nice big one, welcoming. So look how absolutely beautiful this is, and may I say your life is very much easier if you get pleasure from such small things. That's it. I mean, very little work, very great reward.